Hi everyone and welcome back to our Dctuk UK live podcast. Today we're here with Matt from Paragon, so we're going to learn all about his products and what he does. All right, Matt, so tell us a little bit about yourself, what your role is at Paragon and everything to do with what you do at work.
Okay, all right. So I'm the Northwest commercial agent for Paragon. Been with the company 20 years. 9.5 of those years were employed. And then I set up on my own as a freelancer, if you like, back in 10.5 years ago. So my role really didn't change. I just cover the Northwest for Paragon, promoting their range of commercial carpet tiles and entrance systems to a lot of the trade customers, so flooring contractors, fit-out companies, distributors and wholesalers, and also architects and designers.
Well, okay, so can you tell us a bit about Paragon, the brand, and what you kind of stand for and what it is and everything?
Well, Paragon actually stands for a thing of excellence. So that's what basically the name means. And we were set up probably going back now about 25 years ago off the back of our sister company Hetman YKFB, which we are now part of the National Floor Coverings Group. So our main target market is more like your trade customers. So we have a range that covers more, I'd say, the mid to bottom end of the market in terms of price points, with a small amount of top end products. So we're very accessible for your flooring contractors and your fit out companies and your wholesalers.
Yeah.
So that's where we get predominantly most of our business from.
Yeah.
It's very driven on affordable products, good specifications, and excellent service.
Yeah. So I know you said obviously it's driven for the trade and stuff, but do you do any residential or home products at all?
Not no. Predominantly, everything that we do is for commercial.
Right.
That's not to say that you couldn't put them in a home, because you can do.
Yeah.
Because we will sell them for home offices and playrooms and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So you can put our ranges in there, but we don't specifically market a product for the domestic market.
So what's your most popular collection then?
Okay. Well, at the moment, McCall loop pile is the most popular, and that's been driven basically by the economy the way it is at the moment. So our most cost-effective loop pile carpet tile. It never used to be the most popular. We'd probably sell more like the likes of workspace loop pile, but over the last probably 12, 15, 18 months, I think like price is a main factor in people's decisions nowadays. Definitely.
So is this it here then?
Yeah, that's the McCall loop pile, and obviously we've got we have a coordinating stripe that goes with it called McCall stripe.
And is that obviously just got little stripes?
It's just it's like what they call an AB stripes. You've got a row of one colour, a row of another colour. It's just straightforward. Yeah. But predominantly it's the loop pile that sells the most. Yeah. And it'll be the greys. The grey and the black will be the most popular selling colours.
Yeah, for like offices and
things. Offices. And we will do like residential as well on that, but predominantly for commercial space. Yeah. Dilapidations. If a client's leaving an office and they just need to put it back to normal and put a straightforward loop pile carpet tile down, often they'll go for like something like McCall quartz. Yeah. Very popular.
So we obviously spoke about it's mainly popular for trade and things like that, but what kinds of trade businesses go for your products? Is it just offices or is it commercial properties?
Commercial properties, it'll be education, universities, colleges, residential schemes. So we'll provide a lot of carpet tile for like the communal space within these big apartment schemes that you see going up all over the place. And then obviously offices, public space, libraries.
So literally anything.
Anything that's commercial, that's where our carpet tiles will go, with a small amount of like domestic residential.
Yeah, cool. So talk us through some of the features of the Paragon products.
Okay. Well, I think one of the main features as the company as a whole is that we're a British manufacturer.
Oh, okay.
So that's a major thing for
it's always a positive to source locally and things like that.
Yorkshire based. We're still a family run business, privately owned by the Pass family. So the Paragon manufacturing base is over in Rotherham. So that enables us to be very quick on our deliveries. So from place of order, you can have your product within 2 working days.
Yeah, that's
which
good.
is a massive thing. And I think now, especially with Brexit, not too far away,
Yeah.
I think being a British manufacturer is going to be even more important as well.
Oh, 100%, yeah.
So that's probably one of the main factors for us. And also, we've always been known as a competitive, in terms of price point, supplier in the UK. So that is another major factor, that
Yeah.
our prices aren't too high. We're very, very reasonable.
Because you're not paying for imports
Yeah,
and things like
and
that.
we're a small company in relative terms, so it keeps us quite nimble. We don't have to work on larger margins. We can still be very, very competitively priced, but offer very good specifications and great service.
Yeah.
And that's a main key benefit for Paragon, I believe, is that we're British and our price points are very key.
Yeah, I
And
think
then
that.
after that is the service side of thing. So if you do place an order with Paragon and it's a real rush job, you're not just putting a queue and you've got to wait. Because we're a smaller factory, we're very, very flexible at moving around production, getting things in on the tufting line, and just
Yeah.
swapping orders around to fulfill a deadline if it's needed.
Yeah.
So that's another major point for Paragon. We're very, very flexible in terms of the production.
Yeah, that's really, really good. So if somebody is looking for more of a design-led product with Paragon, what would you offer them?
Okay, you'd probably start with something like total contrast,
Yeah.
which is like a random lay,
as well.
kind of blocky, linear kind of effect, which you can literally take out the box and put it in any direction.
So is that the one where it's a square and there's no right or wrong way to put it? You can
Yeah.
literally just lay it flat.
So when we tough that up, we toughed it up 2 meters wide,
Yeah.
and you get an A, B, C, and D tile over that 2 meters. So each tile's got a slightly different tufting sequence. So that when it gets to the end of the line and it's cut into a carpet tile, each tile is slightly different. So then when you put it on the floor, you get this random patchwork.
So
effect.
each lay is unique to
Yeah.
that
Yeah,
piece,
yeah, it
isn't
can be,
'Cause
yeah.
It's going to be completely
Because
different
there's no
every time.
right or wrong way to lay that product.
Yeah.
You just put it down and it creates its own pattern.
I think that's so cool and such a good idea for businesses not wanting just plain carpet
Yeah.
and things.
And you can coordinate that with workspace loop pile. So there are plain greys or blues in that range that you can coordinate with total contrast.
Yeah, that is cool. So we've obviously got total contrast. So if you can tell us a bit more about the design deck as well, because I know that's
Yeah.
a bit cool, like the total contrast.
Well, Design Deck was developed from two of our more popular ranges, the workspace loop pile, which is a plain heavy commercial nylon tile, and the strobe carpet tile, which has always been a really popular range. So we took some of the colours from both of those ranges and made it into a 25 centimetre by 1 metre plank.
So is that this here? What's this one?
That one there, the actual red one, that I think that's the ruby colour from workspace loop pile.
Oh, okay.
And then obviously you've got the strobe in the colour, I think that's the colour blaze, yeah it is, in the coordinating red. So yeah, it's been fairly popular, that one.
Yeah, it's very modern, isn't it?
Yeah,
like,
it is, yeah.
And edgy.
It looks nice when it's down. So but obviously, yeah, the main points of those is that we took it from workspace loop and strobe,
Yeah.
which are two of our more popular ranges.
Yeah, we've had some fun fitting these into our products as well. Like this one is my absolute favourite because that hot pink colour
It looks amazing.
is just
doesn't
my
it?
favourite, yeah.
Yeah,
It just really makes the workspace stand out
Yeah.
instead of it
does.
all being that grey colour, doesn't it?
Yeah, no, it adds that pop of colour. It looks great, doesn't it?
Definitely. Okay, so we've been seeing a lot of projects recently on your LinkedIn to do with Paragon strobe. So do you want to tell us a bit more about that and what that is?
Okay, all right. Well, strobe, I've got a sample here, is a linear type carpet tile using a dark grey base with a highlighted yarn to create the effect. Now, this particular range was born from a range called Stella that we never actually launched. So Stella, the concept of Stella was a dark grey background with the same kind of highlighted flecks in it, but just little dots throughout the carpet tile. It was meant to mimic the night sky, so with a dark grey base with like the highlighted yarns with the effect of the stars.
Yeah.
We never ended up launching that, but our commercial manager actually saw some shooting stars and thought we could take the bright yarn, add it to the grey base, but have little short like stretches,
bursts,
little bursts
yeah.
of colour, and that's what this product is. So you don't get a full burst of orange right across the tile. It comes in little small sections.
Yeah, you can totally see that idea as well with the shooting star. It really, it does come through.
So that's where that was born from. And obviously you've got the plain grey base to go with it.
Yeah.
So if you want a plain grey tile, that's the Fusion Grey. And that was it. The whole range, you've got 10 colours in total on the new range. Because we've recently added a few new colours to this range.
So is it all the same grey colour, but all different colours? Yeah.
So it's all the same grey base, and then we've got the highlighted colours that add the spark.
And can you get that grey base on its own as well?
Yeah, that's what it comes as. That comes as a tileless Fusion Grey just on its own.
Oh, okay.
And this predominantly gets used in offices and education.
Yeah.
Especially in education, because a lot of the schools, if you've got a blue logo, they'll pick out that or like the lime green.
Yeah, it really ties in with it.
It's very good for like adding corporate colours,
branding and things like that. Yeah.
So it's probably 7 or 8 years old, this range now, but it's still very, very popular.
Yeah.
So it's probably one of our better selling ranges.
That's cool. And that strobe product is on the website and it's available to buy, isn't it? And we can get free samples from our dctuk.com website as well. So we know that you do products for commercial properties and offices and trade and things like that. Can you tell us about your entrance products?
Yep. Okay. So our sister company, Matworks, they specialise in heavy commercial entrance systems for retail space, offices, education, university. Again, any public buildings whatsoever. Yeah. And there's a number of different options there. So you start off with your primary matting. Now that can be a number of different types of primary matting. So you've got the aluminium systems, which are engineered to fit normally a recess in the floor, and they come in different profiles. So you've got like a 12mm, a 15mm, 17mm, or a 22mm profile. And then
what does that mean, mil? Is it the thickness?
The thickness, yeah. So depending on the usage, if you had a really, really busy main entrance area for, say, example, like a really busy retail shop,
yeah,
often it'll be more of a heavier profile. So it might be the 17mm with a robust insert like the workspace entrance.
Yeah.
And then after that, we have like the secondary matting, which would be products like workspace entrance, Premier, which you can also use as the insert to the aluminium, but then you can have it as a secondary option as a carpet tile or a sheet.
Oh, okay. So you can have the thick bit as soon as you walk in, and then it'll gradually.
And then you can have a walk-off area.
Yeah.
Of just the carpet or the carpet tile.
Yeah. As
well as the aluminium products, we do some modular systems called N-Track 50 and Treadlock 25. Now they are, I suppose, they're like a halfway house really between the aluminiums and then your secondary matting. So they are standard sizes. They're clipped together products. So it's like a rubber, nitrile rubber that can be just clipped together with the use of a rubber mallet.
Yeah.
But then you still have the same carpet inserts. So that's very, very flexible, that kind of product. So you can surface mount those, or they can go into a recess.
So the entrance tiles, do they come in tiles or the?
Yeah, the workspace entrance, you can get that as a 50 by 50 tile.
Oh, okay.
We've got a workspace entrance design where we actually print 3 different patterns on top of on the base cloth. So that looks more like a commercial carpet tile, like a linear design kind of product. But it just gives a bit more interest than a standard, like the speckly effect that you get.
Yeah, so there's different designs that you can get in the entrance.
Yeah. So there's obviously the planes, and then you've got the 3 workspace entrance design tile options, which look great when they're down. They look really effective. Yeah. And they're very hard wear, and it's made from solution-dyed nylon yarns. So very durable to heavy traffic, but also very moisture absorbent. So it does take a lot of grit, dirt and moisture off your feet before you then walk onto like a vinyl or a carpet tile.
It's so worth it for companies with heavy footfall to get something like that, isn't it?
Absolutely.
What's this one here? What's that one?
That one is workspace design. So I'm not too sure whether that's design 1 or 2, but as you can see there, it's more of a linear, like it's got like a bit of a linear shift towards it.
Yeah, it's like a pattern in it as well, isn't it?
That's been laid broadly, but you can checkerboard them.
Oh, okay. So you can do different designs.
Yeah, you can quarter turn them or brick bond them, but it just adds a bit more interest than just a straightforward plain dark grey with a little speckle.
Yeah.
And it will hide more of the dirt.
Yeah.
So that product is really absorbent to moisture, and it does grab a lot of the dirt off your feet. So It's excellent. It's a good,
Very durable.
very, very durable.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's more that's a lot more competitively priced than your aluminium. So if you're looking for a good durable product, but you haven't got the budget for the aluminium, that's a really good option.
Yeah, that's really good. So if you guys want to check these products out, you can just go to our website at dctuk.com, go to the commercial tab bar at the top, and then click Paragon. So we've heard a lot about Paragon and everything that you've told us now, but tell us a bit more about your own business, because I've heard you've got your own rug business, is it?
I have, yeah. I have a company called Change Space.
So where did that name come from for starters?
That actually, I went to a branding company in Liverpool, and off the advice of one of my customers, said, "Oh, why don't you go to?" I can't even think what they were called. They're not there anymore. And they just looked at what I was doing as a business, in particular rugs, and then they came back with a proposal, and I thought, yeah, that sounds good, that, because it literally does change the space.
Yeah.
When you put a nice rug in an office or a home, so that's where that came from.
Yeah.
And I've had that business since 2013, but for the first couple of years, it was just a sort of a business in the background. And then as time developed, I'd do projects where I supplied carpet tiles for the scheme, and then they would say, okay, you do rugs, don't you, Matt? And at the time, I was just doing straightforward machine-made carpet.
Yeah.
That was then made into a rug. So I had a supplier in Germany that I worked as an agent for that just did really nice residential and commercial carpets. And then they added a program of rugs to their collection. Nothing fancy, just straightforward plain rugs. So as time went by, I was selling more of these plain rugs for offices and meeting rooms. And then I just got an inquiry one day from a guy that said, "Can you do any pattern stuff?"
Yeah.
And that's really where that started. I thought, well, I'll have to look into this. Did a bit of homework. And a long story short, I started winning these jobs through a third party. So I knew a guy in the UK that was trading with companies in India. And I was giving my inquiries to this guy, and I was winning the jobs. So I thought, there's definitely a business here.
Yeah.
So I decided, right, I've got to set this up separately from what I'm doing as an agent. And I ended up going out to India, sourcing my own manufacturers.
Wow.
And that's where it started about 6 years ago. Well, they have all the CAD designers in the office at the factory, so that enables a client to choose whatever design they want in whatever colours they want.
Yeah.
It's a little bit more work.
Yeah.
But if you take a bit more time on
it's worth it,
and go to that extra mile and get that a little bit more detail.
Yeah.
And we sit down with the client with the colour boxes. They can choose all the designs. We can get the CADs redone, so they can actually visualise how the rug looks.
So if a client orders one of your rugs, can they choose exactly what design they want and it gets made for them?
Exactly.
So you do bespoke rugs?
Yeah, it's bespoke rugs, yeah.
Oh, wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So that's basically 99% of what I do is custom-made bespoke rugs made to measure.
Oh, wow.
So, and a lot of the time it will be through designers, and they'll say, right, we've got a scheme, and they'll send me a screenshot of something they like, or it'll be a wallpaper that they want to match to.
Yeah.
And then that'll start the process of
that's so cool,
creating some artwork for them.
Yeah.
And then eventually sitting down and actually picking out the colours that they want and doing the colour placement on the artwork, and then redoing the artwork again with those colours in it, so they can visualise the rug.
So how do people order these bespoke designs? Okay,
so once we've gone through all that process, the last phase that we'll do is often a development sample. So then we will make maybe a 50 by 50 sample of that particular rug, and that will then show...
Like a carpet tile?
Yeah, just like a carpet tile that's been made to the same spec, to the same colours that they want. It'll just be a smaller section.
Yeah.
And from that, then they'll either sign it off, or they maybe want to make some tweaks, but often or not, by the time they get to that stage, they're happy with what they've got.
Yeah.
And then that's where we then go ahead and make the rugs for them.
And what kind of customers purchase your rugs?
A lot of the time, a lot of what I do is through interior designers, and a lot of it goes into either office space, hospitality for hotels, do a lot of that, or it'll be high-end residential.
Yeah.
So it's not so much your day-to-day residential orders, because a lot of people will just go online or go to Next and just buy a rug off the shelf.
Yeah.
It tends to be a lot more higher end, where the end client will hire an interior designer.
Oh, wow.
And they'll be doing the whole scheme. and obviously the rug's like the final piece of the jigsaw, basically.
Yeah. Have you always been into flooring and rugs and stuff, or did you just start this business because you were doing flooring with Paragon?
Yeah, no, I've always been in flooring. I've been in flooring for like about 25 years.
Wow.
And then, as I said, the rug thing just came along through one of the German manufacturers that I was an agent for. So it wasn't something I was looking to get into. It just happened. I just had a range that was standard rugs, and it just went from there, really. And then, obviously, the more I got into it, you get more and more complicated inquiries. And
the more it developed.
Just more it developed, yeah. And I look back now where I was maybe 3 years ago. It's like a million miles more than what I was doing 3 years ago, because you just bit by bit, you just develop what you're doing. You become more knowledgeable about it. You get better contacts. And then obviously once you've done a few jobs for people, they get the confidence in you then.
Yeah.
Or they might pass your name on to somebody else.
Word of mouth. Like
yeah.
That.
It's steadily grown. And it's really interesting because you start from a blank canvas and creating something, so it's great.
So how have you found your rug business to do throughout this whole pandemic and things? How was it?
It's actually been really good, to be fair. I had a lot of inquiries on before the first lockdown, and it quietened off for about 6 or 7 weeks, where a lot of those companies were on furlough. But as the staff came back into work, I picked those jobs back up and we carried on. So I pretty much carried on right the way through the lockdown period.
Yeah.
Just putting designs together, doing all the background work, so that when they did come back to work,
you were all ready.
It was all ready to go, and it was like they pressed the button and we got cracking on with making rugs for them.
Yeah.
And then that's continued. Inquiries have been coming through on a regular basis. So it has actually it's been a good year considering what's happened. So hopefully, I can only see that improving and carrying on.
Definitely. Okay, cool. So if anybody wants to look into Matt's Change Space, then you can just go online, and it's changespace.com, and all his designs are on there. And as I said, we can get in touch with you and the number on the website and things like that if you want to order bespoke rugs. Right, okay, cool. We're going to ask you some quick fire questions just to end the podcast and just make it a little bit more fun. So what football team do you support?
Liverpool.
Obviously. Are you from Liverpool?
I'm from the Whittle.
Oh, okay, so close enough.
Over the water, yeah.
Have you got any kids?
I've got 2 kids, Lily and Lola, 11 and 9.
Oh, lovely. And what is your favourite film?
Oh, my favourite film would be probably a gangster one, something like Goodfellas.
Yeah, are you into like your crime and your...
love all that, yeah.
Yeah, cool. Have you got any pets?
I have, yeah. We had 2 dogs, but we've only got one now because one of them passed away during the summer, unfortunately. So we had a little Yorkshire Terrier who was 14 called Teddy. He's no longer with us, and we've left with a little Chihuahua now.
Oh.
He's like a little squirrel.
And what's the Chihuahua's name?
Dolly.
Dolly. Oh,
so I look all right when I'm walking her because she has a little pink harness.
Yeah.
And I'm walking the little dog, so yeah, I've got 2. But I'm thinking about getting another dog.
Yeah.
But maybe this time I might get one that's from a rescue home.
Yeah, I always say that if I were to get another one, I really want to go and get that.
I feel sorry for him when you see him left on their own. It's tight, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, I love dogs. So yeah, I'm looking at getting a new one, probably in the new year, maybe.
Yeah, lovely. Okay, and last question. If you were famous and you had to go on a reality TV programme, I'm a Celebrity or Big Brother, which one would you choose? I
would probably go on I'm a Celebrity.
Me too. Why?
Definitely, yeah. I'm probably more of an outdoorsy person.
Yeah.
And I'd have a go at all the challenges and get stuck in.
Yeah.
And I'd be all right at that.
So you'd be all right at eating all the weird stuff?
Not a shark's eye. That when you see him having to eat those eyes, that's just the worst.
You can hear the crunch, can't you?
That would be the one thing that would be really difficult, but you just have to.
You'd get on.
You just have to get on with it, wouldn't you?
I always think I'd be that hungry. I wouldn't actually care. I'd just eat it anyway.
Some of those them crispy things that they have, I don't know, like what are these scorpions and stuff like that. I could probably do that because I've had them in Thailand.
Yeah. They have them on the sticks in Thailand, don't they? Like
so
deep
I have
fried.
had them. Yeah, it's just the fish eyes and.
That you'd struggle with.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
all right, well, thank you so much for coming in today. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you very much.
And obviously we've learned a lot more about Paragon and your company Change Space. But hopefully you can come in soon.
Brilliant.
And you'll have some more products for you to speak about with us.
Thank you very much. Thanks
Thank
a lot.
you.
Ta.
Okay, guys, so that's it for our DCT UK live podcast. We want to thank Matt from Paragon for coming in today and speaking all about his products. But we'll be back soon with another fantastic guest, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.